Good afternoon, everybody. You are joining in with us. Greater Pentecostal Church of God presents Bishop and Bishop Fire Talk. Yeah, it's Fire Talk time again, and we're glad that you are joined in. And as we go along, just share. As I always say, every time that we are on Facebook Live, youtube.com, make sure you call, connect, as well as communicate, because we always have some exciting program each and every week. And before we get started tonight, I want to just offer my condolences and my prayers, my thoughts with Erica, our co-host. She will not be with us tonight because the loss of her grandfather, which is Evangelist Corey Simon's husband. So our prayers go out with them tonight. She won't be with us tonight, but she will be back with us on next Friday on Fire Talk. So keep them up in prayers, keep them in their thoughts, amen, as they travel this journey in the loss of their loved one. And while I'm on that same note, the funeral services will be next Thursday at 11 o'clock at Balcom Funeral Home. I don't have the address, but it'll be 11 o'clock, and I'm certainly, they'll be glad to have you, prayers, calls, or whatever the case may be. Okay? Excuse me. Now, we got a very, very exciting show. Each week, we try to do things a little bit different, something special, something that you can enjoy, as we call it, Fire Talk. So tonight, I have with us Eric Mitchell. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing good, Bishop. How are you?
I'm doing fine, man. I'm glad to have you on our program tonight. I guess it just kind of worked out that I wouldn't be here just by myself.
Yeah.
But you can come in and talk.
All
Amen.
right.
Fire Talk with us tonight. Now, let me give you a little bit of introduction, and we're going to go into our program. And, man, I got a whole lot of questions for you tonight, and I hope you're ready to answer them.
I'm ready.
He said he's ready. We're going to see if he's ready. There's nothing to catch him off guard, no trick questions, anything like that. But we just want to find out about this book and what's in your mind about this book, and also what you want our audience and those watching that you want them to get out of this book that you wrote.
Right.
And this is your first time writing the book.
Yes.
Okay.
It is.
This is Eric Mitchell. He's a husband, father, has a wife named Naomi, and has 5 children. And he always talking about cook. He likes to cook. I never had any cooking, but he said he can cook. So I guess one day we're going to find out.
I got you, Bishop.
He won't let me come over to the house and cook with me one of these nice dinners. He's a minister, great minister here at GPC. And now he is an author. He's an author. And his first book is titled Black in a Blue World.
Yeah.
Black in the Blue World. Now, a lot of things come into my mind when you say black in the blue world. But let me start like this. how does it feel to be an author and writing your first book? That's got to be phenomenal. I know I wrote my first book, and I guess you get addicted to it because you want number 2, you want 3, you want 4, but it takes time to write a book.
Yeah.
You can't do it all in one day.
No.
I hear people saying, I want to write a book. I write a book. How do I write a book? I said, well, I tell them, well, you got to just start writing.
Yeah.
Here and there. But just tell us how it feels to be an author of your first book.
It feels great. Like, it's a great accomplishment to finish a book. Now, it's a hard task in itself, finishing a book.
Okay.
Because some think it's just going to happen like when the idea hits, you're going to write it in one day. No. Because you hit writer's block.
Right.
You get nervous. Should I finish it? What the public going to think?
Yeah.
But I did it scared. I mean.
Let me ask this question. How long did it take you to write this book called Black in a Blue World? Did it take 6 months or take a year? Or when did you first get the thought about writing this book called Black in a Blue World?
Well,
let's start there.
I actually was listening to the radio.
Okay.
And I heard of another killing, police on a black man. So I was just driving down the street, and that idea just hit me in the head, like Black in a Blue World. And I was like, man, I need to call somebody. I need to tell somebody about this idea. So I called my brother Cecil up, and then I said, what you think about it? He said, man, that sounds like a good idea. So when I went home, I started writing down ideas. I started doing research. Not research in a sense of like biting, but like I knew the idea where I was going, like with the judicial system and stuff. So I was just writing down ideas, and then I gave myself a chapter a day. A chapter a day. So
it took what, about 6 months?
6 months.
About 6 months.
Yep.
Then from there, imagine you put things on computer. You had to find a publisher or somebody to edit it. I mean, it's a lot of work in writing the book. Yes, you got to have an editor. Somebody's got to read it 3 or 4 times, and they got to check for every dot and crossing every T and all that, even the words and authorities you may have to use, and you don't want to use the same wording all over. It got to be some way of catching. People want to read your book and what you got here.
And each character has to have his own voice. They can't sound alike. Everybody has to be their own person.
Okay, now that presents another question that I have, but let's just start here. Black in a Blue World. Is this based on your life? Is it based on your personal experience? Or did you see this out of the eyes of a family member? Now, let me tell you something. I read the first 6 chapters of this book already. Excuse me. And I plan to finish it. But I'm trying to, as I go along reading it, I'm saying to my mind, like, okay, did he actually see this? Was this a family member that was shot, or how did you put this story? In other words, how did you put this storyline together?
Well, basically, it's from like people I know.
Okay.
Like some of the characters, like Lionel, for example.
Lionel, I remember Lionel.
I grew up
big
with
football star.
Yeah.
On his way to graduate. Right. Full ride. See, I done read the book, man, already. I'll let you know.
And I grew up with some friends that were talented.
Yeah.
Thank God they still alive, but they were talented. They just had this oomph about them, like, man, I see you going somewhere. And I have people in my family that grew up in the streets and just was out there. Okay. But not necessarily personally, but when you hear of these stories, you could almost kind of like recognize or sympathize, like, man, I know where you're coming from. Yeah. And just the police brutality, like I remember as a teenager, I had a run-in with the police. I didn't do nothing wrong. I was coming from the store, they just get out the car and start patting me down. And I'm like, what's all this for? But I knew they were searching for drugs, you know, and I got a bag of chips in my hand, you know, so I was being profiled right there. Okay. as a drug dealer in a drug dealing vicinity.
Okay.
You know, so I just took that and put my environment, because I done seen some stuff. I done seen people being carried out of houses in body bags and everything. So I done seen some
So
stuff.
that will help you to develop and put the storyline together.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you may mention, and you keep mentioning law enforcement, police, cops, all this kind of stuff. And as I read this book and talking about Lionel, the football guy, he was not really, sometimes a lot of our men, African-American men, they're just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah.
But when I read this book, he was not at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Right.
You know, things like that. And to cause an altercation and for something to go, as we say, go down, or I catch a case or whatever.
Right.
So now, when we talk about black in a blue world, what are you actually making reference to? When somebody pick up this book and say black, you talking about black, African American, color black, you say nothing about the Cribs or the Blood, but black in a blue world.
Right.
When you say a blue world, tell me what you're referring to, black and blue, black and blue. I mean, I thought it was black and white, black and white.
Right.
You know, but you got black and blue.
Right.
Explain that to us, clarify that.
So the title came from basically being a black male or black female living under the jurisdiction, I want to say, of police officers. Not every police officer is bad.
I'm glad you made mention that, because I was going to ask that question.
Not every police officer is bad. You got those that are willing to protect, willing to serve, willing to come to your aid, but it's those ones that are prejudiced against our people. Don't know why, but don't want to make it spiritual, but it's the spirit of hate.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a lot of times where you've seen videos and clips of black men and women being mishandled and mistreated, and then you see a family member or somebody crying out, "Get off of them!" And it's like, it's nothing you can do. You're paralyzed.
Yeah, paralyzed.
Because if you touch an officer, you might get a felony. You might get beat down.
And they
you
arrest.
you going to jail.
And I guess just here recently, we've seen the African-American young man that seemed to me was minding his own business. He's jogging. He wasn't stealing. He wasn't taking nothing. He did enter into a construction site and just to look around, and I think it was his friend said he was aspiring one day to be an electrician. Maybe he was just looking around and just seeing how things are built. And sometimes I get inquisitive. I like to go on construction sites, and I do have a carpentry background. But then you have these two former law enforcement white guys trailing him. And I guess that's kind of what we're facing today as African men, young men, black men, even young ladies. And when I look at it, why didn't they just call the police?
Right.
Instead of trying to act like the police, even though you may have been a former policeman myself.
Right.
Now, I see a lot of things going on myself in the community, but I don't have a badge.
Right.
I don't have a firearm. If I see something going down, pick up the phone and call somebody and let them handle it. But is that kind of what you're making reference to when we see things like what happened down there in Georgia?
Yeah. And
so this, you saying to us, this is real?
It's real.
It's real.
It's real. And people, officers, they know the law better than we do. And some stuff they use to manipulate the system for it to go their way.
Okay.
So it's kind of like when you look at laws, you live in a world full of laws.
That's true.
So it's like you're under their law. You're under the law of the land, but they are the ones they enforce it in a sense.
Right.
So when you come into a run-in, it's almost like you enter their world.
Yeah.
And it's nothing you can do, especially if they're trying to take it that far as to murder a black man or a black woman.
Right.
So it's like you live in their world.
And let me just say this to mothers out there, wives out there, or whatever color you skin, know one thing, that you have rights.
Yeah.
I think it's called a Miranda rights.
Miranda rights.
You have rights, and study your rights, know your rights. So if you get pulled over or ask certain questions, you do have rights. I wouldn't answer too many questions. I wouldn't sign no papers.
Right.
You know, I wouldn't commit myself.
Right.
If you can, just say, listen, I got rights. Call your lawyer. If you don't have a lawyer, just say, look, I want to talk to a lawyer.
Yeah.
Because I just believe a lot of our African-American men and women, mostly men, are behind bars right now in jail because they didn't know their rights.
Yeah.
They was forced, they was lied to sign this, and we'll let you go home. You hear that a lot.
Right.
If you sign this here, we'll let you go home. Next thing you know, they fingerprinting you.
Yeah.
You're getting a mug shot.
Yep.
And you going behind prison bars.
Yep.
It's just like that.
Yep.
Then mama's upset, everybody's upset, and now they're trying to get a lawyer, trying to get you out.
Right.
But get you a lawyer, know your rights.
Yeah.
We got rights, regardless of what color of skin you are, we have rights.
That's right.
And we have a right to a lawyer.
Yep.
Would you agree with that?
Yes.
That's good.
They need probable cause. They need a warrant. And they cannot enter your premises or anything without a warrant or reason. You know, they need to have a probable reason. You know, and that's just the law.
That's good. And certainly don't leave out God.
Right.
Because God can make the way.
That's right. That's right.
No weapon formed against you shall prosper.
Shall prosper.
And you covered by the blood, but God know how to bring things out and just act wisely. I mean, I've been pulled over. I'll be honest. I've been pulled over when I first moved to St. Louis, and this is gonna blow your mind. I was in my hometown. I know my mama gonna laugh. She's watching. I was in my hometown about 2 years ago. I was by myself. I went home to be with my family. I think my brothers. One of them had a birthday party or something like that. So I went home. I wanted to be with my family. And on my way out, heading back to St. Louis, I decided I'm gonna ride around town because I haven't been home in a while. I want to see where I used to live at, the school, see the changes. And all of a sudden, I was on a street called Locust Street. And I saw this I'm driving a big black truck, but there's another big black truck following me.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, somebody following me. What's going on? You know, I didn't get nervous or nothing. And so I just drove along. Pretty soon, I seen these little lights come on, you know, and I said to myself, this is not Centralia police.
Right.
And 3 guys, they pulled me over. They got out. I got one on the driver's side, 2 other guys on the other side. These were, I guess, DEA, Illinois state troopers. They had firearm up here, all black on the side.
They was looking for somebody.
Yeah, they were looking for somebody. I guess they was noticed my plates were from Missouri. Right. Maybe he was peddling and bringing in some drugs over here in Centralia. Right. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. You know, I know they got stuff going on there, but I don't know. I was ready. I was ready for them to say, step out of the vehicle. I'm ready, man. You know, I'm ready for my license, restoration, insurance. I'm just ready, in other words, to comply to whatever. They asking crazy, stupid questions like, what you doing over here? Yeah. They asking me, I had one of those soccer T-shirts on. And he gonna ask me, what's wrong? You don't like the United States or something? I said, man, look, I travel a lot. Y'all know I travel a lot. I've been all over the world preaching the gospel. I pick up souvenirs and different things I like. And I wore that. What's wrong? You don't like? See, that's trying to provoke it. Right. You know, just get down to the bottom of the business. But I was trying to provoke. You got a camera in the car. What's that for? I said, I'm an amateur photographer. You know, I'm trying to be nice. I was waiting for them to step out of the car, let you search the vehicle, all that. Right. So they told me what was wrong and all that, and I talked to the guys, and they let me go. You know. And you know what they stopped me for? Because my plate had that tinted cover over it. Oh, okay. And it's supposed to be against the law in Illinois. Yeah. But not against the law in Missouri. But that's what they stopped me for. Yeah. But it happens. Yeah. Black in a blue world. Yeah. Black in the blue world.
I was pulled over, and I had my son with me. And cop pulled me over. I said, son, give me my insurance out the glove compartment. After he gave me everything, I said, put your hands on the dashboard. Don't make a move. I had to take them through that.
Right.
Because
it's a shame you have to do that,
Yeah.
but you have to talk to them.
Because it's just, you just never know where this officer head is at.
Right.
And I don't want to be lost myself or lose my son.
Right.
So I had to teach him.
Right.
So just in case one day, we hope he don't get no tickets,
Right.
but he know what to do.
Now, you know, that brings up another point. In my stop, he asked me for my license. This is what I did. I said, officer, you see my hands?
Yeah.
You see my hands?
Yeah.
I'm going for my wallet.
Yeah.
Not going for a gun, but I'm going for my wallet.
Yeah.
And
Gotta move
you
slow.
see, I'm going to get my wallet. Here's my license.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't have no fear, but
Right.
why do I have to go through all that?
Right.
You know, just to prove that you profiling me because I'm
Right.
black, you know, and you are blue.
Right, right.
But that's what we face.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens every day. Let's kind of shift for just a little bit on that. I noticed that you have some very prolific writing skills. And I noticed your preaching, you write out your sermons, and I mean, you really do a very good job in writing your sermons up. I seen that out of you. You're very gifted and talented in that area. My question would be this, and this may be to help somebody else out there who's thinking about writing a book or so. Did you go to school to be a writer? You know, some people go to school for this. Did you learn how to write online, or you had some online courses? You know, you can learn a lot, you know, online courses and find information how to put things together. You can buy books on how to write.
Right.
You know, you can do that. But what was your experience? What is your journey? How did you reach to that point? You know, I mean, for me, I write sermons, but mine more like an outline.
Yeah.
But yours are more like a storyline. And everybody not gifted like that. I mean, I've been around a lot of preachers. Some write their messages word by word. Others do an outline. Some just open the Bible and they just rip it.
Yeah.
But your writing skills, how did you develop your writing skills? Did you have a mentor? I mean, how did you develop it?
No. In the 4th grade, I had a teacher named Miss Ship. I went to Walnut Park Elementary School.
Okay.
And we had to write an essay.
Okay.
I didn't think nothing fancy of it, but I don't remember the topic or nothing. But I just wrote what I felt. And then afterwards, she came to me and was like, I want you to enter a writing competition.
Okay.
She was like, I think you'll do very well. And I was the only kid out of all of Walnut Park to go to this writing competition. Mm-hmm. And so I wrote what I had to write. And from there, I think I ended up coming up in 3rd. Mm-hmm. And I guess that's where it started.
Yeah.
And I didn't recognize that it was a gift, but she saw it in me and put me in a competition.
Okay.
So it went from there. I mean, it just developed. I didn't take no courses. I didn't read nothing.
Wow.
But if I have to brush up on something or you know, tweak something, I'll read how to write this, how to do this, or how to grab someone. Because you don't have it all.
Yeah.
So you do want to, you know, read other things.
Right,
read
that's
up on, you know, how to, you know, just like metaphors, similes, you know, personification, all that type of stuff. You do want to, you know.
So going to the library,
Yeah.
doing research and putting things together. And I tell you, you did an excellent job.
Oh,
now let's go back to the book. Let's go back to the book. Now, you are a very detailed writer. Like I said, I read the first 6 chapters, so I know a little bit. I can only scratch the surface with the book, but he's detailed in his descriptions of his characters in his book, and I want to ask that question. And then the second question to that question is, how did you develop the roles of your characters? In other words, I noticed how in the book how you describe Lionel. I noticed how you talked about that night at the football game and how four touchdowns, and he was ready,
Yeah.
and things like that. And he looked the guy in his face, the other guy. It made me feel like I was on the front line. I was on the front line, ready to hit somebody,
Yeah.
great, big, tall guy.
Yeah.
The way you described and the way you talked about the young ladies in the book
Yeah.
and how they were looking, and how their hair was fixed. You talked about Grandpa, and you talked
Yeah.
about Big L's mother. And
Yeah.
Then you came up with this idea that Lionel's father was in jail,
Yeah.
in prison for whatever reason. And I don't want to give a lot of stuff away because you got to buy the book. You got to get the book.
Yeah.
You hear me? Now, just don't say, hey, I'm going to buy the book. Read the book.
Right.
Read the book.
Yeah.
You'll get so much out of it.
Yeah.
Now, you described all these characters. You described the police and even kind of the way you described their attitude,
Yeah.
But my question would be, how did you come up with these characters and how you describe them, and how did you develop the character's role? Like Lionel, he had a brother.
Yeah.
And it seemed like to me he was already on a bad track. I mean,
Yeah.
like he was like bad news coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you talked about there was another fellow there. He was always joking. And it had me scared. I mean, like, the way you put that together, and he spooked them and punked
Yeah.
them or whatever you want
Yeah.
to say. He said, "Oh man, I can't." What was his name?
Shoe.
Shoe, yeah,
Yeah.
Shoe. You always playing, man. And he pulled off the mask and all that. Oh man, I'm just playing. And you
Yeah.
always have some jokesters in the crowd.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, they're always gonna get a laugh and kick it up with you and all like that. But just tell us a little bit about how did you develop these characters' roles, and how did you put all that together?
Well, Lionel has a little bit of me in him.
Oh, okay.
Some people look at me and they see like that frown or like,
Mm-hmm.
why he looks so serious? But I put my kindness in Lionel.
Okay.
And also with his brother Devontae, his relationship with his little brother
Yeah.
reminds me of me and Marcus, how
Okay.
close we are.
You and your
That's
brother.
my little brother.
Okay.
So the father represents the black man from the hood, where he may be doing some things that aren't right in the sight of the law, but he's doing what he can to take care of his family. I'm not saying it's okay, but sometimes you got to put yourself in other people's shoes. Well, I got to hustle this because I have this and this on my name. They won't hire me, so I have to do this in order to make sure my family getting fed. It might be quick money, it might be dangerous money, but I'm providing the only way I know how.
Right.
Because you won't let me in because you're looking at felon or this and that. And so when I look at Lonnie's mother, that's Big L, his mother remind me of the ladies in the church. Because when you got like the kids that's, when you're going in that phase or you want to do what you want to do. Now, the Lord said, da, da, da. Oh, Grandma, I don't want to hear that. So I took it from like the mothers.
Right.
And Devontae, I've been friends with some hardcore dudes. Like, they don't play. Like, they ain't play about me. Like, Lil Eric, if anybody, I got you. So that's how, I don't know, but it's that you got them guys that be like, man, look, it's whatever. Like, they're not scared.
Right.
So I took it from people I know, friends, ladies I've seen.
People you grow up with.
And I just put them all in there, and just fashion like this story.
Yeah. Wonderful. Well, we just about coming to a close, and we got a few minutes left here on Fire Talk. I hope y'all really enjoying this. I hope that you will pick up this book, Black in a Blue World. Like I said, I read the first 6 chapters. I plan to read it and finish it, and sometimes that's very hard with my schedule, but I do plan to read it and finish it because it's exciting, because I want to see the end of it.
Yeah.
I want to know about the family and how things are coming out, in this book. Now, this is your first book.
Yeah.
What can we look for in the future? You got anything else? I'll say in the pot.
Yeah.
Or you got some other stuff in the safe, or you got some other ideas, or do you have a part 2 to this, or where do you want to see this book go? First of all, then secondly, do you have any other books that you have in mind that you're gonna write?
Okay. Well, I actually want this book to get in the hands of everybody.
Okay.
So they can understand our shoes, see how it feel when a child is taken from their family, from their mother, from their father, to see that it's just not dust under a rug. Like these families be feeling pain,
right?
You know, and these kids are men and women, they be getting gunned down, they be having dreams, they be having goals, they have visions, and then once they're taken out, their stuff is gone, gone for life. And these families not gonna say, hey, let's make another one. You can't, because your child is irreplaceable.
That's true.
You know, it's only one of them, and you're unique in your own way. You know, especially our black men, our black women, we're so intelligent, we're so smart. You know, I've seen kids, young teens that were selling drugs. You could tell they could be scientists or engineers because how the math just come out of them. And you just be like, man, you talented. And sometimes the world views us as just like these ruthless animals, but we're not. We're kind, we're smart, we're intelligent. We got sense.
Yes, we do.
We have sense.
Yes, we do.
But when the media puts it out there, we're just animals.
Right.
You know, we ain't got no sense, or, you know, they're not articulate enough.
That's right. We're angry. We're hostile people.
And we're not.
If I'm driving through the community, they don't know I'm a bishop or a pastor. All they see is black.
Right.
That's all they see.
Right.
But there's something on the inside of all of us that God has given us.
Right.
Talents and gifts, but people don't recognize that.
They don't see it.
I think the way to bridge this gap between black and blue, it's got to be some dialogue.
Yeah.
There's got to be some communication.
Yeah.
I remember growing up that we knew the police officers. They knew who we were.
Right.
We talked, they looked out, blah, 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 and all like that. But now they riding in cars.
Yeah.
They in vehicles. They don't know me. I'm walking the street or in a car, and it's like a shield already up already between the two, the black and the blue.
Yeah.
Okay, now, when somebody purchases your book, Black in a Blue World, what would benefit them reading this book, or what lessons would they have just to take away?
Well, one, my thing is for us to just start loving each other better.
Okay.
You know, and to know everybody ain't bad. You know, you got your good and you got your bad. That's why I showed even different aspects of, you know, black people. But, you know, I want us to get understanding, to feel the pain of the family, so all this stuff can like die down. Because, you know, it's some people, I've read Facebook statuses where people just, they ready, you know, they want to go to, you know what I mean? I ain't trying to push that or say that, but some people are ready to get violent, and that's just reality, you know? So I just really want this book to be a blessing for people to understand what we go through as a people, you know, and then just to piggyback, we go through as a people with a blue world, but I also was thinking about another idea, black in a black world.
Okay.
You know,
that would be
because, you know, sometimes
we gonna have a series, man.
we look at our own
black
people.
World, that's right.
You know, we could walk down the street and you like, what you on? And then we all observing each other.
Right. What you mugging me for?
What you mugging?
You stepped on my white tennis and, you know, my Nikes, my Air Jordans or whatever.
Yeah, we go through a lot. We worrying about each other. We worried about the police.
Right.
We got all this
of pressure. That's it.
Pressure on us as a people, and I just want us to, the world to understand.
And that's a good thought, because when you look at the African American community, there's a lot of fear.
Yeah.
We fear each other.
Yeah. Yep.
black on black. Then we fear the blue and the black.
Yeah.
What colors do we have? Then you got the white.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, the colors that we got to deal with.
Yeah.
And when you look at colors, the way God created the world,
Right.
he created colors so the world can be beautiful.
Beautiful. That's right.
But when we look at colors, I mean, you see chaos, you see confusion, you see enemies, and it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
If we look at it out of the eyesight of God.
Yeah.
All right, listen, now, would you recommend, you know what, would you recommend maybe the blue, the law enforcement, polices, maybe we need to get some of these books in their hand so they can read and kind of understand our experiences in the African American community. And maybe this will help them maybe to serve and protect the black community that they're in and patrolling in.
Yeah. And to watch out, I hate to say it, crooked officers.
Yeah.
You know, you have laws in place, you don't want to discriminate and all that, but you gotta watch people.
Yeah, you got to watch.
Because it's people that are out there wanting to terrorize our people.
Yeah.
They want to terrorize us.
Right.
So yeah, I see it becoming a movie one day.
Okay.
You know, I am working on the script.
All right.
You know.
Wonderful.
I got so many projects.
Work on it,
I'm working
man.
on.
Work on it. Work on it. Well, this is coming down to the close of another Fire Talk. And again, we miss Erica being with us, but we're praying for you. And we had a wonderful time talking with Minister Eric G. Mitchell.
I had a time
now,
with you too, Bishop.
Tell us where can they find this book? And so many outlets and so many platforms, but tell us where can they find this book called Black in a Blue World?
All right, if you want it on digital, it's now available on Kindle. You can purchase it on Kindle. If you want a hard copy, you can get it on lulu.com. And I'm also, for myself, if you want a signed copy, you could just cash at me at $, E, G, and the number 30, and I'll sign it and I'll deliver it to you. Personally, myself, I'll put it in your mailbox because Rona is out here. Or I can mail it to you. You know, you just inbox me your address. But if you want to purchase it on your own, have it shipped to you, you go to lulu.com, or you could just download it on Kindle. You know,
how much is the book?
$20.
$20.
And if
That's
you want
not a whole lot.
No, it's not. And if you want it on Kindle, it's $9.99. So I appreciate. However, I just wanted to spread across the world.
Get 2 books. Buy one for yourself. Give 1 book away. Be a blessing to somebody.
Yeah.
We need to learn how to support our own. He's one of our own. We support him. And I love to see young people, whatever color they are, music, books, writing. Amen. We got to learn how to push our own, support them in their work. And nobody makes it on their own.
No.
Even Jesus didn't make it on his own.
No, he
You
didn't.
know that, did you? John the Baptist said, "Behold, the Lamb of God who taketh away the sin of the world."
That's right.
John, it's crazy. It's something to think about.
Yeah.
He opened the door for Jesus.
Right.
So we want to open up the door. That's why we took Fire Talk tonight to talk about this book, Black in a Blue World. I just want to say to you, Minister Eric, I call him Preacher Man.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to call him, give him another tag now besides Preacher Man, a writing man. But I want to say congratulations to you,
Bishop.
man. And this is an awesome book, and I'm glad I'm a part of it. And I already got my copy. It's already signed. So if you want a book and purchase the book, I'm sure that he'd be glad to sign it. And maybe one day you can, once we come under this band that we're in, maybe one day you can set up a book signing.
That'd be fantastic.
Day, and maybe you can use our church and fellowship, and you can do 2 things. Since you're a cook, you can put together some hors d'oeuvres, some snacks and cheese and crackers, and set it all up on a nice little table, and then we all come in, sign your book, take pictures with him and all that kind of stuff. You never know where he's going. You never know. You can say, "Hey, I remember him. I helped him." Blah 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 blah. And so it's wonderful when we can do those things. Again, Eric, I congratulate you. I salute you.
Coleman.
I think you're doing a wonderful job. Keep it up, and keep it up what you're doing. I know God's going to bless you. amen, in your work and writing. Remember, black in a blue world. This is Fire Talk. Once again, we love you, we miss you, and it won't be very soon. I'll be making an announcement for the date that we'll be coming back together in the church. All right?
Amen.
We love you in Jesus' name. Any
Amen.
last final words you want to say to our audience?
I just thank you all for tuning in. I thank you, Bishop, for this opportunity.
You're welcome, man.
And this is a man right here that does push us to fulfill our dreams, you know. He comes up with sermons because he sees the talent and he sees the gifts that are within us. You know, he just wants us to excel and push us along. He's an advocate for education. I thank God because this is a great leader and my father in the gospel.
Love you. Thank you.
Love you too, Bishop.
God bless you until we meet
family,
again.
I love y'all too.